No gold, no diamond. What is behind the high cost of these watches? Known for not just their unmistakable style, but also their unmissable presence. Let's talk about why owning one is a lot more than just telling time. Inside the genius of Richard Mille.
Let's do a little bit of recapping for those of you who pulled too hard these last 5 years. So Richard Mille is a relatively young brand, virtually a baby by Swiss watch standards.
I know you're wondering, who started this madness? Walk with me. In 2001, Richard Mille, a 50-year-old marketing executive, quit his job to start a luxury watch brand, and against all odds, he built a $7 billion empire. He had spent his whole life marketing watches and high-end jewelry, but he grew tired of the industry's obsession with tradition. The paradox I saw, Mille once revealed in an interview, was that many watchmakers were giving themselves limits. Their only dream was to do replicas of the 18th to 19th century watches. Machines make today's watches, so if we have to use machines, let's make contemporary watches. And what did he do? He built the most futuristic watch brand the world had ever seen. He had one goal: make the F1 of watches lightweight, technical, and engineered for performance. Richard Mille found a place for its bold designs and innovative mechanical movements, which belonged to luxury watch brands like Audemars Piguet. By mixing high-tech materials with engineering, Richard Mille carved a unique identity in luxury watches. Building aggressively avant-garde watches rather than classically inspired timepieces, and introducing modern high-tech materials and processes, like those used in the automotive and aeronautical industries, into the traditional art of horology. If you have watched up to this point, it means one thing: you have the responsibility to subscribe. Subscribe now. It literally takes 1 second. Each prototype was tested like a Formula 1 car, stress-tested, shock-tested, and refined until it became a mechanical art, a fusion of engineering and art. Clearly, there was no room for error. The craftsmanship and technology that drive the price. Why are Richard Mille watches so expensive? Time, literally time. Richard Mille himself once said, "My watches are not for everyone. They're for those who can understand them." Okay, Mille, we get it. But what exactly are we understanding? Alex Mille, the brand's commercial director and son of its founder, explained that a key factor is the time required for development. He said, "The reason for me has always been very easy to explain. It's time, the time that it takes to develop those pieces. We put absolutely no limits on the time that it will take to develop a watch. And when you are doing everything in Switzerland with Swiss people, each day has a cost." These watches are not just tools for timekeeping, but are expressions of advanced mechanics and outstanding craftsmanship. Additionally, the price includes production costs, finishing touches, and the assembly of hundreds of tiny components, some thinner than a strand of hair. This is not just a product, it's a process. The cost combines engineering and human precision, where mechanics meet aesthetics. Overall, handmade watchmaking of this caliber is extremely laborious, and it involves the highest level of technical mastery, which is one aspect of why these watches are so expensive. In Mille's workshop, every spring, screws and bridges are polished to perfection by highly trained artisans, down to the part that even the human eye can't see. And when you add hundreds of man-hours to one watch, the cost skyrockets. Still not convinced it's worth the steep price tag? Hold up, let's dive deeper. Intricate engineering.
This is the Richard Mille 1103. With a price tag of 200,000 euros, it is one of the most expensive currently released chronographs, but
what's inside a Richard Mille that makes it so different? A level of engineering most brands wouldn't even attempt. Another factor that contributes to the appeal of these watches is the intricacies of their skeletonized movements, meaning you can see the heartbeat of the watch, every wheel, spring, and bridge perfectly exposed. This design exposes the inner workings of the watch to show the precision and craftsmanship that have gone into it. And then there's the tourbillon mechanism, one of watchmaking's most complex mechanisms. A tourbillon is a spinning cage invented in the 1700s to fight gravity and improve accuracy. In most watches, it's delicate. In a Mille, nearly indestructible. Richard Mille engineers built tourbillons that can withstand 5,000 Gs of force, the same stress as a Formula 1 crash. There's nothing hidden here. The cost of the timepiece is due to the time and skill of micro-engineers, which is what it takes to combine cutting-edge engineering with traditional watchmaking techniques. Transparent case, skeleton movement, shock-resistant like a race car, and a price tag that made collectors choke. Richard Mille continues to redefine the boundaries of watch engineering with each model. What a lot of people don't understand is how difficult it is to create Richard Mille's iconic tonneau-shaped case, which is what the brand has established as one of its main features. The sandwich-style style watch case is extremely costly and complicated to manufacture. It comprises 3 decks, front and back bezels, and a middle section, with each component being curved. There are 0 flat surfaces, which makes machining incredibly difficult. Moreover, the curved surfaces fit together within 1/100th of a millimeter to completely prevent moisture or dust from entering. How impressive is that? When it comes to the design, everything is accounted for to optimize comfort and aesthetics. It's all hand-finished and highly technical. Just the dial alone, or the lack thereof, is a thrilling complex. The skeletonized dials, for which Richard Mille is also famous, involve an intricate layering of sapphire crystal and other elements to make for optimal legibility, as well as viewability into their complicated movements. Materials like carbon fiber, titanium, and other aerospace-grade composites are both exceptionally durable and a feast for your eyes. Precision engineering is needed to create these materials, which also help explain the watch's ultralight weight, ergonomic design, and comfort. If this isn't an obsession, I don't know what is. Pursuit of perfection.
Time and concentration they must give each product for their complicated movements. The Richard Mille team took a different approach to horology than what most people are using in the classic world of Genève. Richard Mille was a watch lover himself. He loved to watch the movements of the tiny parts. From there, he got the idea and pioneered the concept of showing the actions of the elements.
Why are they so light? Because in the world of Richard Mille, weight is the opponent. Richard Mille stands as a paragon of complexity and innovation in the world of luxury watches. It's not just the design that makes Richard Mille watches so futuristic and revolutionary. It is the high-tech avant-garde materials too. They are using materials never before used in the watch industry. The mission: make the strongest, lightest, and most durable watch on Earth. While it is cool to say, these watches have special materials. When you try on a Richard Mille, it will be immediately apparent. Richard Mille watches, as large as they are extremely lightweight. They weigh on average just 40 grams. That's almost lighter than an empty soda can, but we know better. They are built with the precision of a Formula 1 car. Altogether, you have super solid construction, a featherweight feel, and an absolutely gorgeous aura. It's truly mind-blowing, and this is amplified even more when you factor in the complexity of the case's architecture. Inside a Richard Mille is a tourbillon, a mechanism inside some of the world's most expensive watches, a tiny spinning cage invented to fight gravity. If you are wondering what kind of materials, the list goes on and on. Grade 5 titanium, gold, carbon composite, carbon TPT, sapphire, and so much more. Every detail, down to the screws, is made to be feather light and unbreakable. It's not just craftsmanship, it's obsession. Even the dial, or lack of one, is its own masterpiece. It's simply art you can wear but barely feel. The finished product: precise components that were hand polished for over 10 hours just to achieve the right reflection. The brand even partners with North Thin Ply Technology, an aerospace company, to adapt carbon composites used in satellites into watch cases. So yes, it's only right that the watch looks like a spaceship. By the way, the processes for creating these materials create random patterns in the layers of carbon. This means no two cases look exactly alike. A Richard Mille watch, as rare as each one is not an identical copy. They are unique individuals. Every piece created is a reflection of a pursuit of perfection that borders on madness. Art of scarcity.
The exclusivity of Richard Mille watches is one of its distinguishing features. Because the firm only makes a small number of timepieces a year, each one is extremely unique and sought after. This exclusivity adds to each watch's value in addition to making it more desirable.
Why don't we see more of them? Easy. Richard Mille does not want you to. What makes these watches truly insane isn't just how they're made, it's how few of them exist. Fewer than 5,000 Richard Mille watches are produced each year. That's less than Rolex makes in a day. You've probably caught on that a Richard Mille watch is intuitive and designed for high-impact reliability. With Richard Mille, you don't just get unwavering accuracy, precision, and reliability. You get beauty, sophistication, and exclusivity. Making a Richard Mille watch is complex and time-consuming. Most of the work is done by hand, so countless hours go into it, but that's not the only reason it's scarce. Another factor that contributes to the exclusivity and desirability of Richard Mille watches: the brand's iconic partnerships with legends in the athletic, music, and acting industries. Richard Mille has many notable partners, including tennis great Rafael Nadal, Formula 1 drivers Charles Leclerc and Felipe Massa, actress Michelle Yeoh, and musician Pharrell Williams. Many of these partners have worked closely with Richard Mille to create namesake lines in limited quantities. These lines then sell for high prices on the secondary market. Limited production increases demand and exclusivity, increasing prices and making these watches rare and highly coveted. Status symbol. Now your question would be, is it really worth it? Depends on what you're buying. Richard Mille watches have become one of the most powerful status symbols by redefining luxury watchmaking with innovation, exclusivity, and bold design choices. Yes, Richard Mille invests millions in research and development, experimenting with materials that defy logic. Each watch can take years of testing before release, which is reflected in the cost of the watches. The real genius? Richard Mille marketing strategy. It lies in its limited production and selective distribution. Mille works directly with icons, not just as customers, but also as long-term partners. This ensures that enthusiasts and collectors are always crazy about getting their hands on this luxury. By limiting availability, Richard Mille creates what marketers call pricing exclusivity, high cost as a filter rather than a barrier. So you're not just buying a watch, you're buying access to a rarefied circle. However, Richard Mille wearers can rest easy knowing that they are wearing vetted, tested, and incredibly accurate timepieces on their wrists. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. Tell us in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.